anytime you can redeem Bitcoin for some other kind of good, it's almost like that good is being traded in the blockchain right now. Like it is a very first order hack, right? But I think that once people start putting, for example, software licenses or things that you can trade in there, the exact first application is going to be pretty important that people use it for other than BTC itself. Namecoin could be interesting in the sense of if you trade BTC for NTC, you're basically trading a domain or the ability to buy a domain in the blockchain. I think probably over the next 5 years, certainly we'll see it, probably much sooner than that, maybe in 2 years.
I think if this technology had existed, one of the thought experiments I always try to do is say, if this technology had existed at some point in the past, how would things be different today? And if this technology had existed 40 years ago, I think for sure DNS would be totally different. And then quite possibly TCP/IP itself, assignment of IP addresses, for example, routing protocols would be different if you knew you had this capability. And then for sure all the application layer stuff. So email would be different, the web would be different, all these social networking would be different. All these things would be, e-commerce would be completely different. Digital media business models would have been completely different. And so I think you basically just, the way we think about it is just do the thought experiment of like, okay, how would it be different had you known that you had this technology back then, which you didn't, and like run that in your head as kind of sort of a clean sheet of paper experiment. And then basically, and this is where I get like aggressive, but then basically say, okay, then the world is going to reshape itself in that way. In the fullness of time, in the long run, that is what the world will look like because it will be impossible to hold back the implications of the technology.